Hi, welcome. My name is Tarah Sheffy. My blog is What I Gather, and I'm the author of the Everything Paleo Pregnancy book. So today we're actually going to be making a recipe from the book. It is a berry mojito salad. It's just a fresh take on a traditional fruit salad, which we've all had a ton of times and can get kind of boring. So this kind of takes the flavors of a berry mojito and turns it into a pregnancy-friendly snack, but also just really good, especially in this Austin heat that we're having right now. It's just something really refreshing to have in the summertime, whether you're pregnant or not. So we'll go ahead and get started. What you'll have is about a cup of blackberries, blueberries, raspberries, strawberries, and watermelon. And that's for 8 people. So it's so easy to double, triple, whatever you need to do, depending on how many people that you're making it for. And you'll need 1 lime, some fresh mint leaves, and a little bit of sea salt. So the first thing that we're gonna do is you're gonna make your mojito flavor mixture. And that is gonna be starting with your lime. And you're going to zest you need about a tablespoon of the lime zest. So for a large lime like this, that would probably be about half the lime. If you had a small one, you could probably do about the whole thing. But honestly, because it's a salad, you can kind of just eyeball everything, which is my favorite thing to do. I don't like getting out all the measuring tools. I like to just kind of do it as I go. So if you have a microplane zester, that's awesome. If not, you can use just a small handheld cheese grater is fine as well. And what I love about lime zest is you don't need very much and you get so much flavor out of it, but it's also a really concentrated source of nutrients. You get a lot of antioxidants and a lot of vitamin C and not very much of the lime zest. It doesn't take much at all. And because you're using the zest though, I know limes and lemons is one that maybe you don't always buy organic because it has the thick skin. You're not as worried about the contaminants. But since you are using the skin, it's better to get ones that are organic. A lot of times the conventional ones, you'll see that they actually put a wax coating on them, and you don't want to be zesting that wax coating and eating it. So I recommend getting organic. And you don't know how many people have picked this up at the grocery store before you either. So lime you're going to set aside because you'll need that later on as we get near the end. Next, you're going to use your fresh mint leaves. And I just grab a handful. You're going to want to rip off the stems there. And what you'll do is get maybe 10 to 15 of the leaves. And you're going to just stack them on top of each other. It doesn't have to be perfect. It can be kind of rough. And what we're going to be doing, it's called chiffonade, and it's just a really fancy term for thinly slicing the mint leaves. It's harder to pronounce than it is to do. So you stack them on top, and then you just roll it really tight into a little circle here, and then you're going to take a knife and just cut it into very thin slices. So in the interest of full disclosure, I didn't want to pronounce that incorrectly, so I Googled it before I came, and you can actually say chiffonade or chiffonade, so that's your French lesson for today. So you just end up with these really pretty little mint ribbons. It makes the salad look really fancy, so it's kind of fun. You can do it with any larger kind of herb too. So you're just going to mix that in with the lime zest, and then you're going to take just a pinch of sea salt. You don't need very much, but just take a little pinch. You're going to mix that in. Just toss it around a little bit, and then you can keep that off to the side. We're going to mix all our fruit together now. So you've got all your berries, except for the strawberries, you can just throw right in. So you're going to put blackberries, and so I know Camille, who is up here before me, she is currently pregnant, and this is such a good snack when you're pregnant. I don't know if she had the same experience. I did not get a chance to ask her this weekend, but I went through a period when I was pregnant with my son where I only wanted really, really cold foods. Everything had to be ice cold. Water had to be practically frozen. So things like this, it was all that I wanted is just really, really cold foods. It was all that I could stand for a while. So your watermelon, sometimes if you buy the watermelon pre-cut, they'll cut them in pretty large chunks. These are actually a really good size, about 1 inch to 1.5 inch cubes. If it's anything larger than that, you'd probably want a half or quarter them because you don't want giant chunks of watermelon mixed in with the smaller berries. So depending on the size, you can decide if you need to chop them a little bit smaller. But we'll pour those in. And then the last thing here is our strawberries, which you're also going to want to cut down just a little bit. So hopefully these would have all been rinsed ahead of time. So I just quarter them. Like I said, you want everything to be pretty uniform, but it doesn't have to be perfect by any means. So you're just going to quarter those, throw them in, just try to get them, like I said, a similar size to the other fruits. So I'll tell you, this salad, you can make it and serve it right away, but it's actually really good if you let the flavors kind of sit for a while, especially with the lime and the mint. Once you mix it all together, if you let it sit for a couple hours to let those flavors start melding and meshing together, I think it actually tastes a lot better. So you might keep that in mind if you were making it for a get-together or something. You might want to do it a little bit ahead of time so it had a little time to marinate. So we'll get a few more of these in there. There we go. So the last thing that you're going to add in with the fruit is going to be your lime juice. So the lime that you used to zest, you are going to throw that. We'll get one more in there. I'm going to use that same one. Let's just set these and clean these up here a little bit. I like a nice clean working area. All right, so last thing that you're going to add in with the fruit, you're just going to cut the lime in half. If you have one of the handheld citrus juicers, you can use that, or you can just use your hands, and you're just going to squeeze the entire lime. You're going to squeeze the juice over. So this kind of has a twofold purpose. It adds that mojito flavor, so you're getting all that lime in there. But the vitamin C in the lime juice actually acts as a natural preservative and helps to keep the salad fresh a little bit longer. So it's a little bonus that you get there. So you want to get as much of it in there as you can. There we go. All right. Clean up a little bit. And then you want to just mix it all together. So try to get everything really coated with the lime juice. You want to really get in there, make sure it's well mixed. And I just think this is so pretty too. All the colors, it's so bright, it's so summery. All right, so once your fruit is all mixed together here, you're going to add in the mojito flavor mixture. So you're just going to toss all of that in there. Make sure you get all that lime zest at the bottom there. We'll set this aside. And then same thing, you're just going to mix all of this together. See, I think the sliced mint leaves do make it look a lot fancier. All right, and then once you've got that all stirred up, you're basically done. Like I said, it's nice. Ooh, lost a strawberry. He didn't want to be in the salad. Like I said, if you are going to be preparing this, it's good to do it a little bit ahead of time so that you can let this all sit for a while. If you are going to be holding off for a while to serve it, you'd either want to keep it in an airtight container or just cover it with plastic wrap or something like that. And it'd be good for about 2 to 3 days. It'd still stay really fresh and taste good in the fridge. So I will set this little final product over here. You can get a good look at it there. And like I said, this recipe is from my book, the Everything Paleo Pregnancy book. It's available in the bookstore, and I'm actually headed over there when I get done with this to sign copies of the book. So if anybody is interested in getting a copy while they're here, I'll be over there to sign it. And if you do want to recreate this at home, I actually made some recipe cards that have the recipe printed up. So feel free to come up at the end and take one with you. And then I just want to open it up for questions. If anybody has questions about paleo in general or about pregnancy or post-pregnancy, I'd be happy to answer any questions anybody has. Thank you. Anybody? Hi.
Finding frozen organic berries lately a lot more cost effective. Could you use the frozen somehow for this?
You could. I find that when they defrost, sometimes they don't have as firm of a texture. So you could. I don't think you would get quite as fresh of a feeling from it if you did, but there wouldn't be any harm in it if you just defrosted it according to the directions, probably leaving it in the fridge until they defrosted. You definitely could. But I would recommend fresh for something like this, though, for sure. Anybody else? All right. Well, thank you all so much for coming. I really appreciate it, and hope you enjoy the rest of your weekend.
At Amara Beverage, craftsmanship is everything. That is why about the